to generate and produce power for the whole country.
Making sense of it all so that you can get a clearer picture.
I've collected 500 billion, and I can only show you borehole.
It's politics.
For me, it is what I call Iberberism. I beg your pardon. Go and search for it, my friend.
It's current affairs.
4 years course, metamorphosing into 6 years.
And news that affects you.
What an academic moi! Academic yo! In their leadership rococo, leadership brababare.
It's all the serious stuff.
But with a light-hearted twist.
I'm Sandra Ezekwesili.
And I'm Aghogho.
Join us 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. every weekday.
Right here.
On Hard Facts.
Hello, Lagos. Good afternoon. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili, and these are your hard facts. It's good to be back with you after the weekend. My weekend was so lit, to borrow the terms that I used all the time while I was on Cool FM. My weekend took me back to my days on entertainment radio. It was so good. On Saturday night, I attended the Cardi B concert at Echo Atlantic. It was amazing. Shout out to Cardi B. She was on our sister station Cool FM, and she was really very nice. She was so lovable. She was so real. She really got into Nigeria. She was drinking stout. She was partying in Lagos. She took pictures at the Christmas lights here in Victoria Island. She visited an orphanage. She went to Ebano supermarket. My God. It was amazing. She had so much fun in Nigeria. She even named herself Chioma. So these days she's Chioma B. Chioma went to Ghana yesterday, and I was so afraid. Man, I was afraid. I was like, oh God, our wife, she has left us. Oh God. When I now saw that they took her to an amazing hotel and they gave her shea butter and shea oil and like lots and lots of pretty things that we didn't give her when she came to Nigeria, I was like, oh God. They sewed kente for her, kente, kimono and swimsuit. Man, my heart was broken. It really was. But then my God showed up. Because I went into my war room and I started to pray. My wife will not leave this house. And Wahala started. Ghanaian celebrities started attacking Chioma B. Chioma said that I did not know that you people set up meet and greet for me. Because Ghanaian celebrities were like, we came to pay you courtesy call. And you were busy eating kebab. And you did not answer us. Meanwhile, Chioma was purging. I don't know what she ate at the hotel. And she started to purge. It upset her stomach. But all the while this was happening, I was busy thanking God, because they will not take my wife, our wife. She's now our wife, our Nigerian wife. We even named her daughter Ayomide. So, she's now Nigerian. We've claimed her. So, we wanted nothing to make her see that there was anything better than Nigeria, By the time of the concert, they took light at the stadium where they were doing their concert. See, it was a disaster. They could not even compare to the good time that we showed Cardi B here in Nigeria. So she's still our Chioma, and we're grateful for that particular small mercy. If you get on my Twitter, you see all the things that I was tweeting about it. Everybody loved it for some reason. They think it was really awesome commentary on the events surrounding Cardi's visit to Nigeria and Ghana. So get on Twitter, Ezekwesili. That's my Twitter handle, and you can check it out. It's quite a hoot. We never miss an appointment here with you on Hard Facts, not even for kebabs. So Aghogho and I every day gather here to bring you the best insights into today's most important topics. We bring them to you, we break them down and give you the facts, and you can form an informed opinion. Any show you miss, you can catch online on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter. Any show from last week that you missed is still available for you online. Today we have a great show for you, so let me put my Nigeria info hat back on. We're starting with the big three, as always. Senate says the convicted Uzor-Kalu will still receive salary. Lagos State Govt shut down 24 drugstores and pharmacies. And we're going to update you on the latest from the Sowore case. On Checkpoint, Aghogho is going to have an important conversation about security because that's what we do every Monday at 4 on Checkpoint. And on the Big Hard Fact, we're looking at the budget. The Senate just approved a version of the 2020 budget, and we're going to look at the process and the growing deficit and other matters arising as well. After the 6 p.m. news today, we'll hand you over to Rufai Useni. Rufai Useni will take you through Conversations with Rufai. It's really great. So if you've never been a part of Conversations with Rufai, today is a great day to start. And throughout all of this, we're bringing you the latest updates from the world of news, sports, and entertainment. But let's get started off with the big three.
This is the Big Three
The Big Three on Hard Facts.
on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
You know what to expect on the big three stories that everyone's talking about right now. Should convicted elected officials still serve in office and receive salaries pending their appeals? Why are we so reckless about drugs sales in Nigeria? And what should happen next in Sowore's case? Let's get into these stories. Aghogho, by the way, is caught up in several meetings, so it's just you and I on the show today. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili, by the way. Orji Uzor-Kalu will continue receiving his salary as a senator while in prison, according to Premium Times. This was said by the spokesperson of the Senate, Ezekwesili. The online publication quotes Ezekwesili as saying that until Kalu's appeal gets to the Supreme Court and is rejected, he is a serving senator and he's entitled to his salary and allowances. This, of course, would be in spite of Kalu actually being in prison and unable to attend sessions of the Senate. Recall that Kalu was convicted last week in a 12-year-old fraud case and sentenced to 12 years in prison. Abby? It's not the first case that we've seen like this. You know that, right? In April of this year, we brought you the story of Joshua Dariye, who was serving in the Senate while in prison. He was even sponsoring bills. And at the time, we let you know that according to the law, when a serving senator is sent to prison, he loses his Senate seat, and INEC must hold a by-election to get his replacement. It's the same thing that happens if somebody dies before finishing their term. So if indeed the Senate spokesperson said that there's no law stopping a senator from serving from prison, he's actually incorrect to say that. The reason it is allowed to happen is INEC says that it cannot hold a by-election for a Senate seat until the leadership of the Senate informs INEC that the seat is empty. Basically, INEC is saying they cannot act based on newspaper reports that Dariye is in prison or Uzor-Kalu is in prison. They need the Senate to write them officially and say, one of our members has been convicted and imprisoned, so he can no longer be a senator. Please hold a by-election in his district to find his replacement. If that doesn't happen, whoever goes to jail is still a senator of the Federal Republic. And so the question is, will the Senate inform INEC officially that Uzor-Kalu has been convicted? Don't forget that he's the chief whip of the Senate. And judging by what their spokesperson has said, I'm guessing that they're not going to be informing INEC. Now, some observers have faulted the statement from the Senate spokesperson. They've said that the fact that a conviction is being appealed doesn't mean that the punishment has not started. After all, Uzor-Kalu is being jailed. If his appeal is successful, then his conviction will be overturned. But he has to start serving the punishment for now, including removal from Senate. This is what some observers have said. And then some have asked another question. They've said, if the Supreme Court finally upholds the conviction, will Kalu return all the salary that he was paid between now and then? And I wonder what you think. What do you think about the Senate leadership not writing to INEC? What do you think about this rule that INEC cannot act until the Senate officially asks them, even though INEC, as part of government, knows that Uzor-Kalu is in prison? 01277 0993, 01277 1993, 01277 2993, and 01277 3993. These are our studio numbers. We're streaming on Facebook as well, and Facebook is Nigeria Info 99.3. WhatsApp is available if you want to send us a WhatsApp message as well. WhatsApp is 080 959 75805.
Stay right here on the Big Three on 99.3 Nigeria Info. This is the Big Three
The Big Three on Hard Facts.
on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Today on the Big Three, we've told you that the Senate says the convicted Uzor-Kalu will still receive salary. I'm wondering what Mr. AB has to say about this. Hello, Mr. AB, welcome.
Sandra, first of all, I want to thank God for you. You are the president of this app.
Thank you.
I enjoy you all along. In fact, I wish I can be getting through. Whenever you are there, I just enjoy it. I can't miss it. Nigeria Info, up, bravo.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I wanted to contribute to the fact of what you've just said.
Yes, go ahead.
That being in the Senate and being convicted, and in fact, if the case gets to Supreme Court and then he's still earning, that would be terrible. That would paint Nigeria a terrible picture. That we are only grooming crooks, I'm telling you.
But it's currently
Will not be
happening.
proper.
We have another senator who's even sponsoring bills from
It's
prison.
It's wrong. Outrightly wrong, because it will be encouraging others that if I steal and get over there, I will still be earning. It's wrong. Should not be set as a president, please.
Okay. Mr. B, thank you so much for calling today. Make sure you try and call again. On WhatsApp, we have a lot of comments. Please get in touch via WhatsApp. WhatsApp is 080-959-75805. Someone says that okay. Well, first of all, I'm not the one that named Cardi B Choma B. She named herself Choma B. I'm just calling her what she named herself. So I'm not the clown. Cardi B is the clown. Okay. Away from that, back to serious matters. We've got comments via WhatsApp. This person says that this is a bad precedent to set for Nigeria's politics. Well, it's already been set. Like I said, Orji Uzor-Kalu isn't the first senator who's going to be earning his salaries and allowances from jail. Let's go to our second story, where we have the Lagos State Govt on Wednesday shutting down 24 drugstores and pharmacies for various offenses, including selling unregistered drugs and operating in unlicensed premises. This happened as part of the activities of a task force under the State Ministry of Health. Both formal pharmacies and traditional patent medicine vendors were caught in the net. Some offenders were also accused of selling fake or expired drugs, as well as using unlicensed persons for the prescription and sale of drugs. Yet again, this story. Yet again. In recent months, the State Ministry of Health has been very serious about cracking down on illegal activities. We've seen Hefama, for example, shutting down hospitals that do not meet all the quality control standards. Hefama is, of course, the Health Facility Monitoring and Accreditation Agency. They shut down 14 health centers last month. You heard about that, yes? Now, we have this task force doing the same thing for pharmacies and patent medicine vendors. And we have to ask ourselves, why is this problem so rampant in the health sector? Why are there so many fake practitioners who are working without licenses, whether it's as doctors or as pharmacists or as nurses? Why are there so many facilities that don't have the full accreditation or licenses, or don't have all the equipment that they're required to have? Why are there so many fake drugs or unregistered drugs in the market? And whenever I talk to experts in the field, they attribute it to mostly three factors. They say, first, there's a severe unmet demand and need in the market for medical care and medicine. And second, there's a lot of ignorance. And third, there's a lot of criminality in the society. So first, the demand. We simply don't have enough hospitals or doctors or pharmacies or drugs to meet the demand. There hasn't been enough investment in healthcare. And this lack of demand makes people desperate. And then the second thing, ignorance. So many people don't know how to differentiate a proper health facility or pharmacy or drug from a fake one. And it allows criminals to thrive. And sometimes even the people providing these services are operating in ignorance, especially the patent medicine vendors. Sometimes they're selling fake solutions and thinking that they're doing the right things. So there needs to be a lot of education. And finally, you simply have the criminal element. Some social commentators have said that Nigerians seem to show a much lower conscience when it comes to defrauding people. That's why we have a fake drug problem. The people selling it are not even afraid that people will die. And I wonder what you think the penalty for people caught selling fake or unregistered drugs should be, or people who are practicing pharmacy without proper licenses. What do you think the punishment for that should be? 01277 0993, 01277 1993, 01277 2993, 01277 3993. And yes, when you call, you can still talk about the very first story. President Sandra, good afternoon. What a constitution. Was the constitution drafted to make sure that the citizens must not enjoy the dividends of democracy, just for the politicians to keep doing what they like and getting away with it? How can INEC say that they don't know that former Governor Darie is in prison unless the Senate writes them? This country is in trouble. And that's a message from Elder Ike, who is in Mafuluku in Oshodi. Thank you for sending us that message, Elder Ike. Kufori G. Kings Oluwaseyi says Nigeria is a joke. How can someone in prison still be collecting salary? We have Daniel from Ikorodu who says it is ludicrous to say that they have to wait for his appeal to stop his benefits. If we were any serious, he really should have been placed on suspension even when the whole case was still in court, and the suspension raised if he was able to clear himself or completely expelled from the Senate the minute the judge declared him guilty. A replacement may now be delayed until an appeal has run its course. We've just refused to get a lot of things right in this country, except hosting Cardi Chioma B, of course. Thank you for kicking off with that. We no longer riot. Daniel, hi. George, thanks for calling me.
Hello, Sandra. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How's Anthony today?
Anthony, we're in traffic going to Shodi.
Bele, tell me what you think.
Okay. The first issue, he called on Dr. Uzor-Kalu.
Uzor-Kalu, yes.
I think he should go to jail. He's in jail already.
He's in jail already, yeah.
Yes. All the salary should be returned, and they should stop paying them salary. I don't know the kind of country we operate where someone that's been convicted for a crime and is still in jail and they're still paying him salary. Let's call a spade. So they should stop it. For the drug peddlers who are selling fake drugs, anybody that is caught selling fake drugs should face the death penalty, just like they do in China. Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, George. Thanks for calling. Very strong words from George. Hello.
Sandra.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon. Your brother will be calling from Ikeja.
Obi that doesn't want to give me my abacha.
Your abacha is ready, ever ready. Because when you get anybody that I will tell the person that will get it to you.
Okay. All right, talk to me.
Sandra, I don't think we need to talk much concerning this Orji Uzor-Kalu. What of the robbers, like what this kidnapper Evans? Do you know his properties have been seized already without even completion of the court case? How is it that somebody that has been sentenced, we are still, Sandra, please. I told you, let us go and hire foreign presidents. I told you this thing when you thought I was being cynical. Let's go and hire, just like we hired the coach for football. We are tired of all these stories, please.
Bless you as well, Obi. Thanks for calling. I have always said that democracy doesn't suit us. How can you jail a man and he's still receiving salary and constituency projects and other allowances? Concerning Sowore, all the drama could be avoided if the government had done the needful since by releasing him. And that's a message from Olushoga Ajayi from Ikorodu. Thank you so much, Mr. Ajayi, for sending your message across. Good afternoon, Sandra. What is the Twitter handle to upload the Nigeria Info OAP on? I don't think I understand this question that well. Hello, Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday from Aghogho.
Yes, welcome, Sunday. Go ahead.
Let they remove impunity with anybody that has a corruption cases in Nigeria, so that it will be okay. Without removing the impunity, it can't work for Nigeria.
Remove immunity, yeah? But senators don't have immunity now. What has immunity got to do with senators?
They have immunity.
They don't have immunity.
They have immunity when they take it very well.
I can't believe you're arguing with me about senators having immunity. Senators do not have immunity. Otherwise, Orji Uzor-Kalu's trial would not have continued as soon as he became a senator. He couldn't be tried because he was governor, and then he stopped being governor, and the trial started. So, no, senators do not have immunity, in fact. Eze is in Ijebode. Hello, Eze.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
You see, this is our country. At times it seems like make our own come out. But we will never run away. We will still stay with them. The only problem is that we are getting old. I don't know how our children in future we see us as their father, because we are not laying a good foundation for them. That moment the case is in. By the way, who votes him in? Who are the people who vote him in when they know that he has a case in the court? Why did they vote him in? I think the salary number one is the number one that they should stop immediately if he's being convicted, and even the old salary should be withdrawn from him, because that man he doesn't want to even live self. That's my own contribution. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks for calling me. Goodbye. Our final story, we're bringing you the latest updates in the ongoing saga between Omoyele Sowore and the State Security Service, SSS. As we reported to you, Sowore has returned to SSS custody after a courtroom commotion last week, a day after he was granted bail by the High Court. Sowore's legal team claims that the fracas in court was caused by SSS agents attempting to arrest him, where the SSS has rejected the accusation and claims the courtroom drama was carried out by supporters of Sowore. Since the rearrest, the Nigeria Bar Association has expressed its displeasure at what took place inside a court and asked the government to investigate the matter. The NBA has, however, refuted reports that it called on the impeachment of the president over the affair. Meanwhile, the Wole Soyinka Center for Investigative Journalism has suspended its nomination of Vice President Osinbajo for its Integrity Award in light of the continued detention of Sowore by the SSS, a branch of the executive in which Osinbajo is the number 2 official. And finally, Femi Falana, Shore's lawyer, has claimed that while his client was in detention, agents of the government offered him a deal for his release, which Sowore declined. Falana did not give details of the purported deal. So, for all intents and purposes, Sowore is still in detention. It's interesting that both the SSS and Shore's camp are blaming each other for the fracas in the court. Both observers of this entire situation are pointing to one thing. Since Sowore had already been granted bail and released, what would he and his lawyers stand to gain from causing a commotion in court? He already had the power and the right to walk home free and wait for the next court date. And then you have the presidency that has made a statement saying that the SSS is acting in its own power, but that the SSS is also well within its rights. It is saying that Sowore's statements about revolution amounted to terrorism. I've heard observers who have said that the presidency's statement does not address the new issue on ground. Did the SSS attempt to seize Sowore in court? And was it proper for it to do so? What do you think happened in the court? Do you think the Soyinka Center is correct to suspend Osinbajo's award? 01277 0993, 01277 1993, 01277 2993, and 01277 3993. If you're a female caller, 01277 0993 gives you easy access into our studios. On WhatsApp, until electoral process is improved upon, these senators will keep treating us with disdain. Hence, they know that their re-election is determined by INEC and security agencies. This is a message from Chinedu. Chinedu is in Udumota. All right, Chinedu, thanks for calling. Thanks for sending that message across. Let's talk to David in Ikate. Hello, David. Good afternoon, David. Hello? David, can you hear me? Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. Good afternoon, Sandra.
Good afternoon.
Okay. Please, I want to talk about the Sowore issue, the drama in the court.
Go ahead.
Okay, there was a video concerning that issue. All of us saw it. And the DSS coming out now to tell us that it was caused by Sowore supporters. There was a man holding Sowore down to the floor. Does it mean that after that video, they cannot investigate to know if that man is really from the DSS or he's a Sowore supporter? The issue with Nigeria is very simple sometimes, but they try to make it cumbersome to make us confused. There is a video to that effect. Can't we investigate? Can't that thing be investigated and see the people in that video? Investigate, know who and who was in that video. It's very simple.
Very simple, David says. Daye is a first-time caller from Abulegba. Hello, Daye. Welcome.
I'm good. How are you, Sandra?
Yes. Hi. Good afternoon.
Wow, lovely discussion this afternoon. Well, I would like to chip in a few things.
Yes, go ahead.
Well, based on this issue of Sowore, I've watched the clip, but there's something that is a bit cloudy to me.
Okay.
The guy dragging Sowore that was identified as an SSS guy, is he the only SSS guy in the court? Because to me, it looks like a stage-managed video.
Okay.
Then on the issue of this drug peddler, please, I think the best thing to be as in the best judgment to be given to them is death penalty. This thing is costing a lot in the society. Like seriously, a lot. You buy drugs that is not even original, that is fake. You use it for one particular ailment. Before you discover you are getting a more severe ailment. Please, I think that should be the best. Okay. Giving them a death penalty or taking them to whichever one of them that is being impeached should be taken to their family house and the judgment should be executed in the front of their family. Thank you and God bless you.
Thanks for calling. It shows clearly that this current administration is not as transparent and corruption-free as it claims. The Constitution clearly states something and the House is not adhering to it, all because he's their loyalist. My biggest fear is now that the House is claiming all of this. Who's going to challenge them or oppose them due to all of this? Because they're clearly breaking the law. All right, thanks for sending that message across. You did not share your name, though. For Orji Uzor-Kalu, that is the way to go. We expect more of them in jail, George from Ejigbo says. All right, but what do you think about the fact that even in jail, he's going to be receiving his salaries and his allowances? We've got more comments from WhatsApp. Rotimini Korodu says, we need to bring white men to teach us how to run governance. I don't think so, because Nigeria has a lot of businesses and some of those businesses are running well. And that tells me that there are a few Nigerians here who know how to do the job. We don't need outsiders to teach us how to lead. We know how to lead. We just don't want to do the right things. Chief Larry is in Maryland today. Hello, Chief. Welcome.
Good afternoon, my sister.
Good afternoon. Very well.
I think then as much as I've already made up my mind about my perception of certain people, but I will still keep the great what Wole Center for what I don't know what you call it.
Yes, in the Wole Soyinka Center for Investigative Journalism.
Yeah. I think the people that withdrew what they wanted to give a shit at. It's a wonderful, that in Nigeria we can also have people that will have the vote with all the money flying around, to take a bold decision of this nature. The welcome development I celebrated, and I think it should be a pointer, for so many other organizations, that would like to celebrate some of these guys, to know that it's possible. Because having to do this with the vice president, goes to show courage. And I celebrate them, and this in my diary, I will have some certain marks that I will give them to show my sincere happiness for what they've done. Again, regarding what we are talking about, I don't think I will make the sentiment as far as what is locally concerned, because our own is antecedent regarding whatever being the rest of the South or Aghogho has not been palatable at all. He has a case to answer, and he said to your 10 instruments. But you watch him with all his co-journals, because I see a lot of things going on within the government. And if some of us that will always talk, I'm not a prophet, but then some pronouncements made goes to show some certain connect, in the way some certain people are running the affairs of this country. And the likes of Orji Uzor-Kalu have been supporting that vision and following them up. I think we are thankful Israel also to him. Let's see and see how it's going.
All right, Chief Larry, thanks for calling to share your thoughts. Frank from Iba on WhatsApp says, I saw the DSS statement and the DSS reported that Sowore ran back to the court from an imaginary arrest. Yet, Sowore was rearrested by the DSS outside the court. Does the DSS think that we are fools? The presidency should sit up and uphold the rule of law, this person says. Thanks for sending your message across. Mayor from Ajah says that the DSS claimed Sowore acted inimical or hostile on seeing them. Is that a reason to reapprehend him while he's on bail for fear of armed men? Even the judge on seat fled and DSS still denies. And the NBA refuting the president's impeachment is seen to me as an act of cowardice because it is the right thing to do on this DSS saga. Let me talk to Mr. Darlington finally. Hello, Mr. Darlington.
Sandra.
Good afternoon. Welcome.
Compliments of the season.
Same to you.
Somebody is offering you a bacha. I am offering you a foul.
Ah, okay. Just bring it to my office. That's fine. Yes.
And if you offer another thing, I offer more.
Okay, well, maybe you should offer me a car. I need a new car.
Okay, we'll talk about that.
Talk to me, Darlington.
Now, on Orji Uzor-Kalu, if you read through that judgment, it is tainted with sentiment. You said they should wind up slug investment as a company and hand over the proceeds to the federal government. The question is, the property of Abia State, when did it become that of the federal government? Slug was established even before Orji Uzor-Kalu became the governor of Abia State. Everybody knows that. So why not separate the judgment from sentiment? If you want to impoverish him, if you want to cripple him, you say that straight away. Go straight to the judgment and don't mix it up. For me, that judgment will not stand at the appeal. It may not stand because the judge did not do the right thing. You can't say that. Abia State property belongs to Abia people. So why transfer it to the federal government? For what reason? That is one. On Sowore, when it happened here with Nnamdi Kanu, we were shouting. You know, one of the reasons why these people have been playing Kalo with us, they play divide and rule. When it happens to the people on the southeast, they will use the other region to attack them. And when it happens to the other region, they will look for one other region to use to attack them. So we have never agreed on what is right. Exactly what they did to Nnamdi Kanu. The man have lost his two parents, the mother and the father of Nnamdi Kanu. They are late now. And he did not even come for their burial. Now, this thing is happening here now. Look at all the excuses they are giving. Is it right? Remember, this same DSS invaded the National Assembly, and that cost Daura his job when Osinbajo was the acting president. Now, I expected the president, since he's around and he's on seat, and he saw what happened, I expected him to sack that their director now, to prove that, yes, he is a man of his words and he respects democracy.
That's the thing, Darlington. Thanks for calling to share your thoughts. We've got comments on Twitter. No, all due rights and duties should be reviewed and rescinded appropriately from Chike Eva. Chike Eva also says that the constituency Orji Uzor-Kalu represents will suffer non-representation. His senatorial constituency should write INEC since they have the power to recall. Some of these procedures in the Senate are wrong. At Dr. Ichie says no, except there's a caveat in the Constitution that allows it. They should also be relieved of duties pending appeals. That's caveat. Okay. Mobalade Tayo says it's morally logical for convicted elected officials to step aside from office upon conviction, but INEC will not declare the office vacant until adjudication is concluded. However, rascality of our politicians has beclouded their moral reasoning. Someone says that Sowore is an actor, and this person says that Joshua says he's sorry for the country. Sowore is a leader of a terrorist sect because the federal government likened his sect to Boko Haram. I can only expect what happened to IPOB to befall him. All right, Joshua, thank you to you and everybody who has contributed to conversations on the Big Three today. Coming up is Checkpoint. Let's talk security. And after that, we're going to have conversations about the budget that has been passed. Hard Facts will be right back.
Hard Facts will be right back.